And we are live, guys! Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. How to successfully fail with semen retention. How cool a title is that? I'm going to go through two stories and I'm going to explain how that failure created success for the two people involved. First, I'm going to start with me. The last few days, I've actually been very productive. I've been going to bed at 9 p.m. in the evening and then refreshingly woken up at 5:30 a.m. while everyone else is sleeping. And since I filled my house with basically strangers, that kind of pay the rent while I live here, then I don't want to wake them up. So I go to the parking lot and I jump a skip rope 1,000 times in 10 minutes while I listen to a YouTube channel. And then I come back, and what I did yesterday was I added some more stuff on top of it. I did push-ups, I did squats, I did a lot of extra exercises. I don't need to go to a gym. And then I felt powerful, I felt refreshed. And I went on with the day. Now, interestingly enough, I do some odd jobs here and there with my transport business, and I got 2 missions yesterday. And one of them was to lift up 800 kilos, not all at once, obviously, in 20 to 40 kilos batches of plant dirt that a customer wanted. And we had to lift it from the road and then walk up to his property, which was about 50 meters, and carry this load. And that went on for like 30, 40 minutes. And then following that, we had to move some furniture for another customer. And eventually, it made me come home late. Like, I had to go to bed at 10 o'clock. Oh, crisis. Anyway, I went to bed at 10 o'clock and I woke up this morning at 5:30 as my alarm went off. And next thing I know, it's 7 a.m. And I'm like, the first thing I'm saying, is crap. Then I have a choice. The choice I have now is whether to make this failure, because I wanted to wake up at 5:30 a.m., a long-term failure or a short-term failure that produced a win. I could make the choice now. Either I make me feel bad about myself, or I can make this into feeling fantastic about myself. What did I choose to do? Well, obviously, because this is becoming a habit for me of failing. Failing is a fantastic thing. I'm going to go deeper into all of that stuff, but just my mentality. Okay, story number 2, and I'll get back to story number 1 afterwards. Okay, so I got a friend, and he wants to do semen retention because he understands the benefits. He understands now that he is addicted to porn and masturbation, and he just wanted to quit. And because he started and failed and started and failed and started and failed on this semen retention journey, he now started reporting to me when he fails. And that is a good thing because your commitment increases when you have to report that to someone else. And so, 12 days ago, he reported. He said, just wasted my essence, bro. And I was like, sorry to hear that. Get up, brush yourself off, and start again. And then he says, yeah, but it was good for leverage. This combined with the strategy will work. Now, he's developed a strategy because porn usually only comes from your cell phone these days. I mean, it can come from your laptop, but who cares about that? Because usually you're in your bed, blah, blah, blah. And so what he decided to do is every single evening, before he goes upstairs to his bedroom, he just puts the phone downstairs. He doesn't bring it up with him. And he has a book right next to his bedside that allows him to read right before he falls asleep. And the temptation basically is gone. So he reinforced his commitment. And then I did something else at the end there. I said, control yourself, woman. And he's like, shh. And okay, the reason why I kicked him a little bit more while he was down was just so that it could reinforce his day of disgust. in such a way that like he would kind of get upset with me. I don't care, because we have a really good relationship, but at the same time also upset with himself that it reinforced his commitment to succeed. So now, as far as I know, which he reported to me yesterday, he's on day 12 and he's going to keep on keeping on, and we'll see what happens, right? Because it's tough. I have to admit to you guys that failure, stepping up, setting a new standard for yourself will always be difficult. You got to understand that you're like transforming neural pathways in your brain. And if you've been doing something consistently for years and years on end, how are you going to change that? It's going to require effort. It's going to require a plan. It's going to require strategy, like a form of preparation. It's not just going to happen all by itself. You have to create it. You have to become a creator of solving that problem. But once you do solve that problem, you now have overcome a small problem compared to the bigger problems that you're going to handle easily in the future. There's a fantastic book called The Slight Edge. I recommend it for everyone. I've read that book 15 times. It's written by Jeff Olson. It has a great chapter on this when it comes to failure. And he explains that in terms of your dreams and goals and where you are now, let's say where you are now is A, position A. And then where you want to go is position B. In terms of semen retention is right now you're ejaculating frequently maybe, or you manage to get to 10 days or 5 days or 12 days and then you relapse. Okay, so that's your current condition. That's the truth. That's the reality. And that's okay. We have to know where we are. And then you have to know where you want to be. You don't want to have any addictions. You don't want to like be continuously working on problems about yourself, because you know the faster you're able to focus on other people's problems, the richer, the more abundance you get in life, because they now can pay you for your services. So you've got point A and point B. Now you've got two options. The one option is because there's tension, right? There's tension in terms of achieving point B. And it's really uncomfortable. Tension is uncomfortable. And you've got two choices. Either you move towards point B slowly but progressively, a little bit at a time, and eventually, you'll set more goals and create more tension, and then you step by step move on to the next goal. But if you basically don't want to do that, you also have that choice. You can very easily just say, oh, well, you know what? I'm comfortable where I am. I just want to, I don't care. And I don't want to be uncomfortable. That's what 95% of the people out there are saying. And they basically delete that tension. They take it away. Poof, gone. You know what? I give up. But I'm not going to say that it's giving up. I'm just going to say that semen retention doesn't work. Or semen retention is unhealthy. Or semen retention is this, that, and the other. When you just really enjoy ejaculation. But you have no idea how it feels like to actually overcome yourself and win. And be able to use that win, that discipline that you got from that simple exercise of semen retention. And I know it's not simple, but when you have overcome it, you will look back and say, wow, that was easy. The first month is horrific. But when you get past that, it's not a big deal. It's like fasting. If you've ever tried a water fast for 3 days, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The first day is the worst one. It's like you're hungry the whole day. You're hungry. And then the next day, you don't feel hungry anymore. Like your stomach has kind of shrunk a little bit and it doesn't need as much food as you did yesterday. And then the third day is like a piece of cake. Now, eventually you want to break the fast because you become lethargic and lazy and all that stuff and have to be in bed. But you understand the point. Like it becomes, the health benefits of fasting is amazing, okay? If you haven't tried a 3-day fast, you should, but, do it at a time when you don't have to work. Anyway, The point is, going back to story number 1, where I had the option today of feeling bad about myself, of basically saying, oh man, now this day's wasted. Now I'm not going to achieve any of the things that I was going to do today. And it's like I'm 3 hours behind and now I have to catch up. And oh man, why can't I get this thing going? Like, I'm so stupid. I'm so bad. Or I could very simply decide, oh, you know what? That was amazing. Oh, just getting that extra 1.5 hour in bed today, that was so fantastic. If you failed, you might as well enjoy it. Okay, life is too short. If you failed, enjoy it. But at the same time, reinforce your commitment that this is not going to happen again for a very long time because I've said so. Because I've made the commitment to have a higher standard for myself. Am I going to wake up at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow? Yes. Am I going to report? If you guys want to, I might report. But the whole point is, I managed to turn it into a win because, one, I made myself feel good about myself. Most of the time, I'm on track, and to have an off day sometime or just fail sometimes is fantastic. It's great. It allows my body to to get the rest that it needed from yesterday's massive labor, and also be able, like, the benefit of being able to share this with you guys today. If I hadn't failed today, I couldn't have used this example story, so that was also a win. You gotta understand, rich people, okay, they manage to win no matter the circumstance, no matter whether the market is going great or the market is going horrifically. Actually, pinpoint here, the rich, if you listen to their YouTube channels or the way that they talk about the financial market crash that's coming up, all of the rich people are basically saying this is going to be horrific for the people who don't have any money. But for us rich people, we make more money during the downturn of the markets. So how can you apply that to your current circumstance? Right now, your current market is very bad, maybe. Or your market is fantastic. You manage to achieve your goals consistently. But if you're in a market right now where your life conditions are bad, that basically means that this is the time when you make the most money. It's invisible results. But this is the time when you're actually winning if you are slowly but surely overcoming yourself and facing your demons and making changes in your life. If you're like a rich person, you manage to make the bad things that are happening right now into your greatest wins. Like, if you listen to any of the interviews of anyone who struggled for a long, long time from rags to riches, and then they eventually made it, they look back at the time when they struggled and the hardship and all that stuff with fond memories. I struggled so bad back then. It's amazing to see how I've gotten this far, but to be honest with you, the journey was what was exciting, even though at the time it didn't look like it. The journey was what made them become who they are today because of them learning from their experiences. So how does a failure create a win? The more you fail, the closer you are to getting your win. Now, the only problem with failure is if that failure is consistent and never changes. That's the same as basically giving up and or wasting time. Like, you don't want to be failing with semen retention for the rest of your life. Then you might as well not practice semen retention at all and just enjoy your life and see what happens. But if you actually want to succeed at semen retention, then improve every single time. Get yourself back up with positivity faster every single time. Make failure your friend by learning from the experience, and like my friend who struggles and maybe he's not struggling anymore, but has been struggling with porn and masturbation. The fact that he's created a plan and a commitment and a strategy, and he completely, continuously reinforces in himself a desire to change and raise the standard in his life. That's what's going to make the difference. And that's what's going to make the difference for you as well. This is how to successfully fail with semen retention. Let's see. So next time you relapse and fail, as long as you pick yourself back up quickly and learn from the experience by making a better plan, a better strategy, just simply preparing yourself for success in a better manner than you did last time that you failed, the probabilities of you succeeding and winning will increase. And just simply recommit to be a winner. You can do this. I believe in you. If I can do it, if my friend can do it, you can do it. And by now you understand that the rich are the biggest failures in life. They get tons of more failures than the guy who's just made one decision that I don't care. Or he has a life philosophy that it doesn't matter if I'm not abundant in some things. As long as I'm abundant in time and relationships, then that's all I need. No. We need to be abundant in everything. There's nothing wrong with that. God wants you to be rich. The rich fail a lot more because they have higher standards. Do you understand how many billionaires who want to be the billionaire that is at the top of the list? Like, tons of them. And yet there's only one that's winning. All of the rest of them are failing if that's their goal. They have higher standards for themselves, so they naturally fail a lot more than we down here. And we have to take that example and become winners like them by simply enjoying to fail. Enjoying the failing and getting up and becoming better and improving. Anyway, I hope that you got something out of this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe and like. There's tons more of this. And for you guys who just kind of jumped into the semen retention phase of my channel, like my brother's like, why are you keep talking about semen retention? It's almost like you're like a maniac. Imagine if you talk to a normal guy and every time you met with that guy, you're like, semen retention, semen retention, semen retention. Okay, I have a strategy with this because this is my niche right now, and it's not like... For you guys, it's just a constant reminder that this could be the launching pad for you to get discipline in your life. I don't talk about semen retention every time I meet people. I just go online on YouTube and talk about semen retention, but it is step one. It is discipline 101. Eventually, once you start mastering this stuff, we're going to go to the next level. So keep me updated on how you're doing with semen retention. And the moment we have a bunch of people who've actually succeeded and want to move on, then go back to my other videos in the beginning of my channel, because they talk about relationships, they talk about women, they talk about making money, they talk about business, they talk about all those stuff. I've been doing this show for a year with tons of videos, and it's just this past month when I started with semen retention. And guess what? This is the time when things started taking off and people started listening to my channel. But there's tons more videos about success and about other stuff that maybe you'll benefit from. So take a look at that. And this is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again tomorrow.